Hey, Berks County, April Kelsey here with Berks County House Buyers, and today I'm answering the question I get the most, which is, are cash house buyers in Berks County a scam? Is someone buying your house cash a scam? So I want to discuss that with you today because it is a legitimate question. And the reason is because there are a lot of cash house buyers out there in Berks County that don't really know what they're doing, and they're not doing it the right way, or they're going about things in a little bit of a shady way that they shouldn't. So I'm going to explain to you today the different types of cash buyers. We've been buying in Berks County for over 12 years, so we've seen lots of cash buyers come and go, and there's a couple things that you want to look for in a cash buyer, okay? So number one is making sure they're local, that their company is located locally, they know Berks County. This way they know the market and can give you the highest and best offer for your home. So let's talk about the three different types of cash house buyers in Berks County, and how you know if someone's not necessarily intentionally trying to scam you, but not going about the things in the most ethical manner, okay? So the first cash house buyer is a wholesaler. What is a wholesaler? This is someone that puts a property under contract for whatever price. So you say, hey, I want $90,000 for my property, and you meet with other cash buyers and they're like, 90,000 is way too much. And you're like, I have an investor that already offered to pay me 90,000. Sometimes that's a wholesale investor. What they do is they put the property under contract and then they send it out to a huge list of other investors to see if they can find someone that will buy it at that price. So they're not directly buying your property. How do you know if you're working with a wholesaler? Typically, wholesalers contract the property way higher than what other investors would if you met with other cash buyers, and they need a long period of time to close. So they'll say they need an inspection period of like 20 to 45 days or 60 days. There's no reason someone needs a long period of time to close like that. At Berks County House Buyers, when we buy houses cash in Berks County, we can close on a house in typically a week or two if you want to. If you want to move slower, we can move slower. But what a wholesaler will do is then they will tell you that they need to take contractors through your property, but they will walk other investors through your property to see if those investors want to buy the house cash at the price that they have under agreement with you, because the wholesaler is not buying the house directly. So the first type is a wholesaler. If you feel you're dealing with a wholesaler and you don't want to, there's ways around that. Make sure your inspection period is really short or no inspection period at all. In a lot of our contracts at Berks County House Buyers, we don't have an inspection period, and we tell you we can close in a week or two. The second thing you can do is ask for a large deposit. Wholesalers will typically put down a $10 deposit, a $100 deposit, $500 or $1,000. So ask your cash house buyer for like a $5,000 deposit. Start asking for a higher deposit. You can also ask for what's called HUDs, or closing sheets, of properties that they've recently purchased in Berks County. These are sheets that they would have from a title company showing that their company purchased properties in Berks County. So you can ask for proof of HUDs on properties they've recently closed on. So the first type of cash buyer is a wholesaler. The second type of cash buyer is the worst. Well, these people bother me more than any of them. And this is the bait and switch, what I call the bait and switch cash buyer. So this is a cash buyer that contracts your property with you for a price way higher than any other cash buyer you met with. And then what they do is they say, yeah, we're going to buy it at that price. We're going to buy it at that price. Then a week before settlement, they come back to you and say, hey, our contractor looked at pictures. It needs way more work than what we thought, so we need to drop our price. And you've already waited and have been waiting and waiting to sell this property. You think you're going to settlement, and right before settlement, they drop the price on you and tell you that they can't buy it for 90. Now they need to buy it for 60. So basically all they do is get the property under contract, and then they go back and they renegotiate with you right before settlement is supposed to happen. In a lot of situations, we get calls from sellers who they go under contract with a cash house buyer, and then they come back to us and say, hey, this cash house buyer never purchased my property because they came back and told me they had to renegotiate and buy at a lower price. We don't do that. The price we give you is the price that we are directly buying it at. So we are not a bait and switch buyer, not a wholesaler. We are number 3, which is what I call the rip off the Band-Aid buyer. That means we have a ton of experience. We've been buying in Berks County for 12 years. We know values like the back of our hand. So when we come out and look at your house and we take pictures and we show them to our contractor, we know what our rehab costs are going to be. We are a for-profit business. We don't hide that. So we know what we need to make on the property. We know how much work has to go into it, and we know what it's going to be worth when it's fixed up. So we give you the number that we can directly purchase the property at, and we follow through and we buy that property in the time frame that we tell you. So while we may not be the highest offer, we don't bait and switch you, and we're not walking a ton of investors through your property. So bait and switch and wholesalers, you really got to watch out for them. So let's review again what you can get from cash house buyers in Berks County. Proof of funds, that they have money in their bank account or they have some kind of lender that's going to give them the money to buy the property. HUDs, which are sheets that show that they recently purchased properties in your market locally, okay? Larger deposit up front. So instead of like $500 or $1,000, start asking for a larger deposit, and they should be able to do that if they're a professional company that has money in reserves. So ask your cash house buyer which kind of cash house buyer they are and who you're dealing with. If you have a house in Berks County that you need to sell cash, I hope this helped settle your fears and answer any questions about some kind of scams that unfortunately are out there and give good cash house buyers a bad name. You can reach us for a free, no obligation consultation at 610-816-6205 or www.berksdirectcashbuyers.com.